Welcome to Mindless Entertainment. My name is Jesse Milestone. New intro, new background. Let me know what you think. All right, so if you clicked on today's video based on the title, I can almost guarantee, unless you're my friend Lindsay, that you have no idea where I'm going with this. So stick around and please feel free to let me know at the end if I'm totally wrong and you knew it all along. But before we get into that, I'm going to just take you through the thought process real quick, just dive into that, what led me to this video, to the discovery that led to this video. So we're going to go through that, but don't worry, in just a few minutes you'll get to all the yelling, screaming, and gesticulating that I know you are here for. So, what is this about? All right, new Batwoman casting. Ruby Rose walks off the project for a bunch of reasons. Who knows why? Maybe we'll never know. But anyway, it doesn't matter because we're moving on. Why would we scrap this show that has terrible ratings and terrible viewership? Why would we just move on from that like any other smart, sane filmmaker would do? No, we are going to force it down the public's throat. And so we are going to cast somebody, and if you don't like this casting, you are probably racist, because that's how Hollywood works these days. So we picked a black woman, Javicia Leslie. But if you go and look at any of her, if you're IMDb, her Wikipedia, or this, she doesn't define herself as a black woman. She doesn't define herself as an African American. She defines herself as a German American. She's born in Germany, moved to America. She is a citizen here. She is definitely black. You can see that plain as day. So that's the direction we're going with this, right? And that actually right there, before we go any further, this is a good thing. Why is it a good thing? But Jesse, we don't support just random diversity hires and casting this and that and the other. Look, there's no reason in this universe why she can't be. This is a character they invented, they made up. She can be whatever she wants to be. Why is this a good thing? Well, because I've been talking to my friend Lindsay, and she opened my eyes to an issue in Hollywood, right? We all know Hollywood likes to tokenize its minorities. We all know it likes to, slap one on the screen and pat itself on the back. Good for me, look what I did. So this actually is a step in the right direction because a lot of black actors who are cast, especially black women, Hollywood tends towards casting lighter skinned women. Now, if you know anything about black culture, there is a lot of tension surrounding lighter skinned black people. There are a lot of cultural stigmas from white people and from black people, either sometimes good and sometimes bad. So there's a lot of, feeling and charged feelings around this. And when you go and you look at a lot of, actors who have been thrown in our faces a lot as, great black actors. Halle Berry, Rosario Dawson. These women are incredibly light-skinned. It takes nothing away from their heritage, but it begs the question for some darker-skinned black actresses, do I have a place here? Do I get a shot? Right? So this, I will say, is a step in the right direction on that front towards actually walking the walk and saying, oh yeah, we believe in inclusivity, so we're not going to overlook a darker-skinned black actress because we think she's less marketable or she's harder to light on set or any other inane reason that is perfectly easy to get past. So that's good. Hooray! But let's look deeper at this casting choice of Javicia Leslie. What has she actually done? Well, if you do a quick look, it seems like nothing. On the nose, you might say, oh, this is just a diversity hire. She does no resume. That's not true at all. Right? She was a main on the show, God Friended Me, for 2 seasons. It wasn't that super popular and it got canceled, but she was cast in a leading role in that, and she has had parts in independent films and smaller parts on TV shows as well. This is the resume that you build when you're working towards getting a part like this as an actor. In contrast, Ruby Rose has actually a much more accelerated trajectory. She pretty much went from, viral videos as a supermodel to, featured guest star in Orange is the New Black to, supporting parts in gigantic movies such as The Meg or John Wick 2. It's not common for an actor to have such a meteoric rise coming from so little background. So we're looking at someone like Javicia Leslie, who has all of these small credits that you build and pile into your resume to get those opportunities to get in front of a casting director to then get your big break as a series lead on a DC show. Well, that's a big deal for her, and she has worked to earn that. I'm taking nothing away from her for that. She's definitely worked to earn that, and based on that resume, one can suspect that she's put in some actual serious time studying as an actor. She has theater credits from when she's younger as well and stuff like that. She's actually put in serious time as an actor, so I don't think she's unqualified. I don't think this is just a diversity hire. I think whatever other additional reasons they chose her for, she is perfectly qualified to do this role, and I'm very happy for her to get this opportunity. Every actor, is working towards a break like this, so I'm very, very happy for her, but I'm troubled by something because when I went to look up and learn more about her in this regard, where did she come from, what's her story, I scrolled down her Wikipedia page, I hit personal life. What's the first thing it says? Leslie is bisexual. That seems like just a weird statement to make. Usually you go to the personal life section on someone's page and it tells you something about their interests. If it talks about their relationships, it talks about their relationships, not just their sexuality. Or if their sexuality is relevant somehow to their identity, if they've spoken about it, done an interview, it'll clip moments of that or talk about what the statements they've made regarding their personal life or their sexuality. Not just slapping it in there like it's part of your resume, like it's something the world should know. Which just smacked me as weird. It says Leslie is bisexual and then she practices Muay Thai and is a vegan. Well, good for her. But in thinking about that, and I was talking to my friend Lindsay, the one who knows what this video is about because she inspired it really, and I was asking her, okay, is this the step in the direction you want to see for black actors going with putting a darker skinned black woman out in front like that? Yeah, that's a good thing. But Lindsay also was troubled. Why is her sexuality being pasted all over, the internet? Why is this so important? Why is it stuck there on her Wikipedia page? And it really got me thinking about that and about how this whole, we talk about things like, well, it's stupid to, say only a gay actor can play a gay role when, gay actors play straight roles all the time. Why can't a straight actor access that part of themselves that can relate to a gay experience and play a gay role and bring a lot of life and integrity to that role in its own right? Why can't we allow that? We talk about that aspect of it all the time. But this brought to me a completely new element of it that made me go, holy crap. Not only in doing this, in essentially tokenizing someone's sexuality in this way, Hollywood is actually being incredibly discriminatory against their gay actors and in reality, forcing them to be out. Think about that. You have to be gay now to play this role. Well, what if you are, but you are not out in every aspect of your personal life? Now you have to choose between maybe outing yourself and going to a family function. Maybe you have relatives, older relatives you're not that close, and you only see a few times a year, and it's just easier because they have attitudes that won't accept you. And it's just easier to not let that part of your family know about those elements of your personal life, so you don't have to be faced with that kind of bigotry in your own household during family occasions. Right? Maybe you don't want everyone in the effing world to know, but if you don't put it out there, paste it out for the world to see, the lynch mob's gonna come for you. Because if you're not gay, Ruby Rose, they came after Ruby Rose for not being gay enough, for Christ's sake. So if you don't plaster your sexuality now for everyone to see, you're at risk of the lynch mob. But let's take it one step further. What Hollywood is actually doing in the casting room by doing things like this is active discrimination on the basis of gender, and not just in the sense of, it's harmful to straight people. Yeah, it is. It's harmful to straight people too, but this is directly harmful to the gay community. An audition is essentially a job interview, okay? So as an actor, the process, you send in your application, right? You submit for an audition. It's like sending in your job application. You get called in for an audition. It's like having a job interview. Let's see what you can do. Let's see, do you have the right personality, the right skills, the right look, the right this and that for this job? So imagine that you applied for a job as a computer engineer, and you sit for your interview, and one of the questions the interviewer asks you is, what's your sexuality? Are you gay? Are you straight? Who do you bang in your personal time? How invasive is that? And how much of an uproar would there be if we found out a company was hiring based on someone's sexuality? Ask them their sexuality during an interview. That is highly personal. It's not just a matter of, discriminating against somebody for being one way or another. That is ridiculously personal information that no employer has the right to ask you. So why now are we expecting that people should have to put that out there in order to be considered for a job? Because it goes both ways. Yeah, it sucks for somebody who works really hard and is qualified for a part and is denied it because, you're not gay and we need a gay actor to play this part. But it sucks just as much for a gay person, somebody from the queer community who does not want to out themselves, who does not want to run around talking about their sexuality, to now be forced to broadcast it and announce it in order to be accepted or considered qualified for a certain part. Take Luke Evans, for example, right? Luke Evans, this is an actor. Now, people are about as surprised to learn that he's gay as they are surprised to learn that I'm not. Right? But he is. And he is, if you go into his Wikipedia personal page, right, by contrast to Javisha Leslie's, she's bisexual. Great. For 2 paragraphs that discuss Luke Evans' personal thoughts and statements on his own sexuality. Talks about as a younger man in his 20s in London, he was totally out. He had no problems. Everyone kind of knew, even though he was playing a straight man on TV, the community knew he was out and he was very comfortable with that. But as time went on, he felt less and less comfortable with people knowing his business. He just thought, why is it their business? He is perfectly comfortable and happy to be out as a gay man. He just doesn't think other people need to know about it. Right? His comment on it when asked, what Hollywood might think of his sexuality is talent, success, what you do in your personal life. I don't see how one should have an effect on the other. That's his stance. And as a result, there are tons and tons of people who don't know he's gay. And he likes it that way because when he walks into a casting room, he wants to be judged based on his merit, based on his roles, based on his work. When he gets called up by a casting director to offer him a role on a project, he wants to know it's because of the work he does, not because, they're looking for their token gay guy. And he's absolutely right. but he should get to make that choice. He should never be put in a position where he feels like he has to be publicly out. He has to run around talking about his sexuality on the press junket just to, be qualified for the role that he's playing. And Luke Evans plays almost exclusively straight guys. I can't think off the top of my head of a gay role he's played, and he has a bang-up job at that. He is gorgeous, he is masculine, he is rugged, he is handsome, and he nails those straight roles the same way Neil Patrick Harris does when he plays, a super total toxic masculinity man. It's great. Why should these people have to feel like they have to out themselves and put themselves into this box? Why should they have to feel like their sexuality defines who they are and how they work in Hollywood? That, to me, that's people talk about like, oh, well, straight people don't have to. You're right, we don't. We're not expected to run around, making our heterosexuality part of our work lives, part of our job, description, part of what qualifies us to do this work. Why should the queer community be forced to do the same thing? Why should they be forced to out themselves for their employers and for the public? Just because a whole effing lynch mob of social justice warriors who aren't completely damn straight themselves, who are probably changing their damn pronouns to try to feel more oppressed, decide that somebody else who's probably going through real struggles with their identity has to now suddenly out themselves, to please these people, to appease these people who aren't right with themselves. And so they desperately need their heroes to represent them somewhere because they're not strong enough, they've not done the self-work to be cool with their own identity. They need someone else to do that work for them. That is a lot of shit to put on another person. And it is not fair to the people who just want to do their work. To the Luke Evans of the world, to probably the Javisha Leslies of the world, who have worked their butts off to get to where they are and want their success to be based on their talent, not on their sexual identity. That's what this is supposed to be about. That's the world Martin Luther King envisioned, where we treat each other based on who we are and what we do, not on what we look like, not on who we sleep with. And that's what this is. That is, at its heart, discrimination. And in this version, forcing gay people to be out in order to be accepted for the roles that they have worked for is just messed up. So that is what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. Let me know what your thoughts are. Don't forget to press the like button because that's important. As oppression is what we do on this channel. You can follow me everywhere at Jesse Milestone on Twitter, at Mindless Entertainment on Instagram. Don't forget to check out my Patreon. I'm dropping a lot of sneak previews for my next awesome project on there. So make sure you subscribe to that or subscribe star if you want some of those behind the scenes looks. And that's all for today. God Empress out. Damn it, turn off.